What's up YouTube? I am super stoked for today's video because it is my first episode of settling in Seattle. I'm going to be doing a series of the different projects that I've been working on around the house. Whoops, just kicked my camera. Different projects I've been working on around the house and just the things that I'm doing to settle into our new home. Today's video is going to be part one of my bathroom makeover. Disclaimer, I am not a professional, so I'm not saying that I did everything in this video correctly, but it did work and it worked for me. So if you do try to do any of these things yourself, please make sure you are safe and do the proper research before engaging in any of these things yourself. So like I said, I wanted to work on the light fixtures, the mirror, and the cabinet. So this is what they looked like before. Definitely not terrible, just not really my vibe. I wanted to change out the light fixtures, get the mirror replaced, and do something with these cabinets because I was not a huge fan of the color. I started by getting a little Allen wrench, and there are these little screws on the bottom of each side of the thing holding the mirror to the wall. So I unscrewed that, and then I just took the mirror off the wall. It was pretty easy. I just had to make sure that it didn't fall while I was working on it, and I got that out of there so I could start working on the lighting. Very important tip, if you are working with electricity, please go to your circuit box and make sure that the circuit is turned off for the specific thing that you are working on, because if there's electricity flowing to it while you are working with open wires, it could be very bad. It took a bit of figuring out, so I did the first one without recording it, and once I figured out how to do it, I went ahead and recorded the second light. So I started by taking the sconce off the wall, and then I took the caps off the wires, and then separated the wires that were on the sconce from the wires that were in the wall. This is what it looked like inside. This will take some research on your part if you're changing a sconce, but basically you just have to figure out which wires on your new sconce correspond to the wires that already exist in the wall, match those up, twist the ends together, and then twist on those wire caps. And then this part was a little bit tricky, but I just had to stuff the wires in there, make sure they were good, and then attach the new sconce hardware and the new sconce to the wall. I went to go turn on the circuit so I could come back and check to see if my light was working, and lo and behold, it didn't work. I'm super disappointed, but I went back to the circuit breaker box, turned it off, and tried to see what went wrong. What had happened was when I put the wires back into the wall, one of the caps had come loose, and one set of wires had become detached, so all I had to do was reattach it, make sure that cap was on there really snug, stuffed it all back in, got the sconce back on, and went to go check it again, and ta-da! It worked out, so I was really happy about that. Now that my lights were working, it was time to replace the mirror. I got a really awesome 30-inch circle mirror, and I got it from Marshall's for 40 bucks. It was perfect. So what I had my husband do was hold it up in between the lights, and I marked where I wanted the top of the circle to be. And then he took the mirror off, and I measured with my measuring tape the distance in between the sconces to make sure that the mirror would be centered. Put a drywall anchor in the wall, put a screw into that, and then hung the mirror on the screw. And this is what it looked like. I was super excited. It just already, even without doing anything else, this made the bathroom so much more me. But now for the fun part. So one of my favorite things that I discovered at my last apartment was that contact paper is not only a cheap option, it is a completely viable option for giving your cabinetry and counters a facelift. So I'm not a huge fan of this brown in the countertop, so I wanted a black wood finish, and I also didn't want a tan granite countertop. I would have preferred a white granite countertop to just kind of fit the vibe. The tile in the bathtub is white, and I just wanted a cleaner look. So go to Amazon, get yourself some contact paper. I also have a spatula-ish tool that really helps smooth everything out as you work so that you don't get bubbles. And yeah, the contact paper application is kind of self-explanatory, but also it's a lot of trial and error. You're gonna have to like measure out the contact paper and then cut it, start peeling off, and you'll learn as you go basically what works and what doesn't. It actually took me a pretty long time to do the cabinets because they have these cutouts in each door. It was very annoying. So the easiest tip I can give you is going to be to disassemble everything as much as you can. For the cabinets, all I could do was take off the cabinet doors and pull out the drawer, but that was easy enough. Everything else I just did while the cabinet was standing, and I just attached the contact paper directly onto the wood once I had cleaned it and made sure it was dry. This is also just a temporary fix. I wouldn't use this forever, but this is just to get by until my in-laws who own the house will basically gut the bathroom and redo it completely. So this is a temporary solution. Now for me, the contact paper in my old apartment lasted 3.5 years. So I assume that these will do just fine, even being in a bathroom with pretty high traffic. I also wanted to change the knobs because they were silver, and I will be in my next video changing all the faucets and shower head and everything to a black finish instead of this chrome. So I wanted to change my chrome handle and drawer pulls to a little white one that I got from IKEA. It was on sale, so it was perfect. So I just switched out the hardware. Really easy to do. Just take a screwdriver, unscrew the hardware, and switch it out. After a few days of working on the bathroom, this is the final result. I'm super happy with how it's turned out so far. Like I said, still not done, but this is a good place to kind of wait until I'm ready to do the rest of the projects in here. I like the color palette better. I like the granite countertop, the fake granite countertop better. And yeah, for now this is gonna work for me. I will show you how I do the rest of the projects in here. But thank you for joining me on my first episode of Settling in Seattle. There is a lot more to come. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you join me for next week's video. Thank you. Bye.